Thank you for joining, my regular people, my family and friends. Thank you for joining. Timeless Utino Life is back. Back. Good to see you, Food Approach. Well, good to see you. I can't really see you right now, but good to have you on. My husband of life, good to have you on. My Ada, my first daughter of life. Good to have you on too. So it's great to be back, honestly. That's just the truth. We just wait for a few more people to join us and then we start. But for a very long time at 6 on Sundays, I always felt like a vacuum, like, aren't you supposed to be doing something? No, my mic is on. Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Please say if you can. I don't know. Is network bad? Network will not be bad though, in Jesus' name. Today we must do. Oh, okay. Maybe it's from your end, Obinwa. I think because if you can hear me, let me know. Food Approach, can you hear me? Hey, Pastora. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Dinky Noff. Thank you for joining. I hope I got that right. Yes, so Pastora, you have to represent small. How be it? It's very important. Oh, fantastic. Great. I pray that network must work. By fire, by force. It must work. So, good. Really great to be back, honestly, because Dinky. Okay, Funke, how are you? Okay then. Okay, great. Thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for joining. I've just network will be great by the mercies of God. It's incredible how just a little rain, you want to turn everything upside down. Okay, so I guess I will introduce myself for the benefit of those who watch this after. My name is Tinola Agbabiaka. I'm the one and only wife of Oriyomi. I'm just letting the world know and remember. And mother of 3. Lawyer by training. I wear many hats, amongst which is a certified relationship counselor. And I do this because it's part of what's my assignment in ensuring that relationships are what they are. And also because a lot of issues of life stem from relationship, perhaps all, if you really look at it. It comes from either a lack of something or an excess of something, or So That's my role, and in my own little way, as I talk, I learn too, because before I come here, I do research too. So I'm not here because I know everything or because my relationship is perfect. It's only God that is perfect. But as I learn, but by the special grace of God, I believe God has given me, some certain level of wisdom in this area, and I have to share it. So today's topic is hot too. I'm telling you now. So if you know anybody that you should be here, please forward, just send a message to them. Send to them. We all need to hear and learn a thing or two. Married or single, they need to be here. Your children need to be here. The beautiful thing about what I do is that my most consistent followers are my family, my children, they listen, so they learn. It's what you know that you will pass on. I keep saying that to people. It's very easy to think you know it all, but it's what you know that you give your next generation. If you think you've done very well, then that's fine. But in spite of what I feel I've done, I pray daily that my children's marriage relationship turn out 100% better than mine. I don't want them to go through all what I've gone through. And that comes with knowledge, because knowledge is power. Even the Bible says, it's the people of God who perish for lack of knowledge. It's so easy to remain in ignorance and think you're on the right path. But then we have a responsibility to the next generation, to our children. Even if you don't have children, you have nieces, you have nephews, you have people who come to you for counsel or advice. Because in this part of the world, to actually go to a professional for advice somehow is difficult. They would rather call their next door neighbor or call their friend who perhaps has no knowledge of the subject matter. But then, hey, people get what they seek. So we're here today to learn. Today's topic is narcissists, molesters, and abusers. And I did let me first of all explain what these people, how they are. Then we'll go into the very main reason that I came on today. I've been postponing coming on and restarting this. I pushed it, but some recent events made it very, very important for me to be here. So, who is a narcissist? They are usually vain. I don't want to go into, because all these are in the dictionary too. Or if you're looking for the characteristics, so to speak, they're vain, they're full of themselves, they have an overrated image of themselves. When you are in a relationship with a narcissist, it's almost like you're in hell. Thank you, Keikos. Thanks for joining. Lolo too. Thanks for joining. When you get involved with a narcissist, just know that if you cannot manage yourself well, it's the beginning of the end. Now, narcissists are not born. So it's not like you have a baby and you say, this one is a narcissist. Narcissists are raised by parents like you and I. So it's very important that as a parent, you check out for some certain traits in your child and correct it early. The major challenge is that people tend to correct late, when it's too late. When I was young, and my father would want to cane you, he will be caning you and be telling you that, I would say it in my language, in Yoruba, then I would interpret. Igi tó gbẹ tó tútù ló ṣe é ṣẹ́, tígi bá ti gbẹ kò ṣe é ṣẹ́. In other words, is when a stick is still fresh, that is tender, that can be bent. Once it's dried, you can't bend it again. So he believed in he believed in sparing the rod and spoil the child. I know in this era now it's considered abuse, and but not how we were raised. And interestingly, as much as we didn't like it then as children, there are things that I can very well say I'm glad, that shaped, my life. Early correction. So invariably, whether your mode is hitting with whichever way you want to correct a child, there's a timing. That's basically maybe what all this I'm trying to say is about. There's a time to do that. Because when you don't correct a child, you live with the behavioral, the nonsense behavior. A lot of time, people package that child when he's old enough or she's old enough to get into marriage. You package the person for the spouse, and that's the issue I get to deal with every day. When people come in for counseling and you listen to ridiculous things, it shows the background of who they married immediately. People who can clean after themselves, people who pick up a fight for everything, different. Anyway, I digress. Let me go back to narcissists. So, who are they? Part of their characteristics is they have inflated self-image. These are people who think it's them, it's them and them alone. They do not care about the partner. As far as they're concerned, life is just about, them. They are arrogant thinking, and even a behavior, you would see, they lack empathy. They lack consideration for others. They are cocky, manipulative, selfish, and demanding. And you will find this, it surfaces in every area of their lives, whether it be work, family, friendships, or love relationships. Now, are narcissists only men? No, not true. That's not true. Male and female can be a narcissist. I recall as a young lady, my late teens, I had a friend. I was, so traumatized by this friendship that when I think of her, I am thankful that I ended that friendship. Now, I didn't know what a narcissist was then. But now when I really think back and all what she used to do, I realized that was exactly what a female narcissist behaved like. She felt she was better than everybody else. She would never offer you a compliment. She takes this was a very close friend of mine. She would say those things that she would do. Rather than offer you a compliment, sometimes if you don't even like, you don't want to compliment someone, you keep your mouth shut. No, she would say something to put you down. Let me give you an example. Like like I'm wearing red now, rather than say, oh, red looks good on you, she'll say, red. Nobody wears red again. Red, that's so, yesterday. In other words, and as a young girl, that kind of state now, nobody can tell me that now. But as a young girl, wow, it's almost like somebody just deflating you from, and you'll be wondering, where that came from. Why did you have to say that? So I recall when I decided that this relationship, even as a young girl, I was very, very, what's the word? I knew when to draw the line and end relationships. So I decided I was going to end this forever. And I recall one of our friends didn't understand. She felt I was making a mountain out of a molehill, about the relationship. I caught it. I said, look, from today, you and I go this way, I go that way. The interesting bit was that very many years later, this third friend that came on that thought I was being unreasonable came back with the same decision. She took the same decision too and cut her off for the very same reason. So why have I gone into this? To let you know that it's not only in love relationship that they are narcissists. As friends, if you have friends around you, and we need to tell our children too, if you have a friend that is always, putting you down, I've, reeled out all the attributes or the characteristics, then maybe it's time to just cut that person off. You don't need that person in your life. I don't think I've come across a narcissist as maybe a date or maybe I cut it off early. But I have had narcissists as bosses. I remember last week I still had a conversation with one of my co-church members about a narcissistic pastor that we had. That pastor sent more people to hell than to heaven. I am telling you. So we have to watch out for these people and know how to cut them off. Okay. Now, narcissists don't change. So don't think you will change or she will change. And that's even for those who are in relationships that they are dating. Because the truth of the matter is, for everyone that ends up married to a narcissist, he didn't change, she didn't change. They've always been like that before. You just thought they would. Yes, narcissists are human and exhibit it across all spheres of their lives. Absolutely. Parenting, plus everything. Because every time we talk about narcissists, people think that maybe they are spirits. They are not spirits. They live amongst us. We have experienced them. At least I'm positive that in one way or the other, whether in a relationship, family, at work, or in a place of worship, you must have come across a narcissist. That's just, the truth. They usually blame others. They don't take responsibility for any wrong. They can do no wrong in their own eyes. They will blame you. If they cheat on you, you made them cheat. They do. If not because you did this, they wouldn't cheat. If they hit you, you made them do it. They don't take responsibility for nothing. They don't change. They are extremely sensitive and they react badly to the slightest criticism. They react, terribly. I had a narcissistic boss. I don't know how that guy can make heaven. He's still behaving like that and he's getting away with it. And that is where we have a problem, because we're still going to talk about those who enable them. Because when you are doing something and there are people who look the other way, or take it that that's how you are, and meanwhile you're ruining other people's lives, then there's a problem somewhere. So more about narcissists. They have unrealistic sense of superiority. They believe they are unique, they are special, and only special people will, can understand them. In relationships, they often tell their partner that you are lucky you have me. They tell their partner that if not that I'm in your life, where would you be? Statements like that. They exploit their partners without shame or guilt, and frequently demean. They intimidate, they bully their partner. There are people that where their partner is, they cannot talk. I recall once that my husband went for a meeting, and he came back. He was perplexed. He said, do I know what? That when they came into the meeting, it was somebody's house, and the way the host chased the wife inside, he couldn't believe in their presence. He said, get inside. What are you doing here? Get inside. So that's I said, so that's he was shocked. He couldn't understand it. Now you can imagine, of course, that relationship didn't end, sadly. So yes, everything that is done by them is blamed on someone else. Their mirror of reflection never allows them to see themselves in a bad light. Absolutely. So that's really basically who narcissists are. Then I want to touch on molesters and then abusers. Then we'll come to the case study for today. A molester is a person who sexually assaults or abuses a women, or a child. They are in our family. They are in our workplace. They are, everywhere. They're in the church. They're in the place of worship. They are around. We need to keep our eyes open. Unfortunately, we live in a society where speaking out becomes a problem, because people are so quick to blame the victim. People are quick to make it the victim caused it. The victim, maybe the way she dressed, or the child, the way she's very suggestive. We look for reasons to keep these people at work and find and place the victims in a position where they cannot speak. Because even after they speak, what happens? And the greatest power a molester has over a victim is that of silence. Once a victim can talk, his power is diminished to a certain degree. Now, whether people believe or not is secondary, but for as long as molestation goes on, you find out that it's the perpetrator would usually say things like, if you tell anybody, I'll kill you. If you tell anybody, we'll kill so and so and so. So the victim keeps quiet, thinking that he or she is saving the family or themselves. Now, I would also like to stress that we automatically think that it's only young female children that are under attack from molesters, and that's not true, because they are the boy child too is under, attack. I don't have the ratio, so perhaps the female child is more at risk, but it does not neglect or exclude the male child. So when we are looking at watching out for our children, we have to be, we have to focus on all children and not necessarily just one, just maybe the female, because I think that's the error at least in our time growing up. In terms of the female child was more, you were more of don't talk to boys, you were more, and the male child was left to be, to go on a frolic of their own or at the mercies of whoever abuses or molests them. Then lastly, abuser is a person who treats another person with cruelty or violence, especially regularly or repeatedly. So you find out that a narcissist may not necessarily be a molester, but a narcissist is usually an abuser too, because there's a consistent behavior. A molester is an abuser too, but a molester also may not necessarily also be a narcissist. So that's balance, but sometimes you find the three in one person, which inspired me to put this on, because now we're getting down to serious business. There's an ongoing what should I call it, case situation of a particular doctor. His name is Dr. Femi Olaleye. He's the medical director. He's a medical director. I'm glad that medical people are watching right now, of Optimal Healthcare Center. He's well known. He's well known. But if you are looking for an example of a narcissist, a molester, and an abuser, it is this man. Why have I brought him up today? Like I said, the plan was not even to start now. This man, I've heard of his matter for not today. However, I try not to get involved in people's relationships. I heard of his matter in terms of, being philandering all over the place. But the problem I have with having him doing all this is the fact that this man works only with women. I've been there with my own children. My children, that doctor that we went to that did breast exam and everything. I'm sure you remember Ombode Thomas. You know him. Now, when my children go in for any medical exam, I have to be there. Now they are adults, yes, but when they were children, they would say, you cannot take my children inside anywhere without me. So when he examined my children and myself, I can say nothing. I was there. But like I said, I had heard of his antics and his plenty, but there was no point in bringing. Why am I bringing it up today? Because now an underage child is involved. He's married to somebody that's it's like a younger sister to me, and that one brought her niece to the house. and Dr. Femi Olaleye. This is really not news out there, but I'm here because I know a lot of churches either knowingly or unknowingly aid and abet him in getting his victims. He's always going to different churches to examine women, talk to women, and I'm pretty sure that there he recruits victims. And I know that a lot of pastors watch this man. Stop inviting him. You know, sometimes I wonder if we still have what the Holy Spirit, if the Holy Spirit is still at work in our churches. For heaven's sake, if you are going to invite someone, is the Holy Spirit not the Spirit of truth? This guy has been on this for years, and you keep calling him to your church, to different places, and putting women at risk. Please, let's not do church like it's just the Holy Spirit did not nudge any one of you. This guy has come to my church severally. The Holy Spirit did not say, no, there's something about this guy. Please. Because we can't keep putting people at risk. This guy, he has to be stopped. So the number one thing, I understand, he used to be in Redeem. He goes to different churches. So he used to be in Redeem, from what I have heard. From there, he went to Archbishop Vining. Then now he's in KICC. Because when you see somebody moving from one denomination to the other like that, you have to check. You have to find out something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. So the story is that this guy molested his niece-in-law, his wife's niece. The girl was 15 when he started. He disvirgined her and consistently was molesting this girl and giving her birth control drugs so that she doesn't get pregnant. And from very good info, he was also giving his wife some pills so that she can sleep very well and not be aware of his antics. You see, this is a guy that must be stopped. And the only way, like I've said, to stop an abuser or a molester is to expose the person. What I don't understand is even why is whatever is still open. I don't get it. So this guy, Femi Olaleye, if you see him, fine boy standing. By any standards, he's a good-looking guy. That's the truth. He's schooled in England. He looks decent, but he's evil inside. His decency is just on the face. Inside is evil. Now, the truth of the matter is that we're hearing of this particular case only because this is his wife's niece. And the wife was bold enough to say, thus far, no more. How about if this girl was a house help? We wouldn't hear about this. That's the truth. They will cover it. So what I'm saying here is, he has to be stopped. He has to be stopped. He knows all the big pastors. So when they present him, we have to be careful with put out which part. The duty of a pastor is to protect the flock. You have to protect. I'm calling on, if we see him, if I see him on any poster of any church again, that church will hear it. I'm telling you, because we cannot put, fish in the mouth of cats. This guy should be stopped. He looks innocent, but he's not. And the sad part of all of this is that even as he was caught, he did this consistently for, I think they said, well, more than a year and a half. Sleeping with this girl consistently. Until he was caught. And even after being caught, the narcissist that he is refusing to take responsibility. Nigerian Medical Association, yes, I agree, they should look into all allegations as a smart, and from all indications, from what we've heard, he did this. He cannot practice in England. He used to be in England practicing, but it's a lot of patients had complained. So I don't know how they did that and everything, and maybe escaped jail term or everything, but came back to Nigeria. I really don't understand. We just take people, they've come from abroad in Nigeria here. Anything from abroad is authentic. Rather than us, looking at, trying to find out where this person is coming from, why he's where he is, why he had to leave, because apparently he was doing well over there. So when they show up here, we should be able to ask questions. This guy must be stopped. All the pastors that listen to this, all the pastors' wives that listen to this, if you invite him to your church again, you are becoming part of, that means you are recruiting people for him. So, as the story goes, he is now threatening the wife. He's threatening the wife, wants to kill her with all sorts of things, because she spoke out. Which takes me to another matter on this. I have so many people that stories of how they cannot talk out because their spouse is, molesting A or molesting B. Please, for the sake of your children, if you are married to a molester, speak up. Because a lot of times we think that because it doesn't concern us, then it's not our business. Everything is your business. Do you know who your child will marry tomorrow? Do you know who will become best friends with your child somewhere? Everything bad that is going wrong, it's your business to correct it, to speak up. If we all speak up, then it will end. If you want to come on this and join me on this live, please just send me and so that you can, if you want to say one or two about this matter, please let me know. Send me a request and I'll put you on. So part of the challenge with this guy is that I think because of all these people that he knows, he's feeling invincible, that nothing can happen. But I'm calling on Nigerian Medical Association. I'm calling on all pastors who have ever invited into your church, because people are plenty. I don't want to start naming, you. You are many. You are many. The Holy Spirit didn't tell any one of you that this man is evil. You are many. So let his bad behavior not rub off on you. I'm calling on all of you, the Nigerian Medical Association. Look. I'm a mother of a doctor, and I believe it's a profession. In fact, I say it proudly. If you call me to know, I feel take offense. If you call me Mama Doctor, I will smile. Yes, because I think it's a fantastic, noble profession. You know? You remember him? Yes. But yes. Grabcop says, unfortunately, culture and tradition of communal settlements of matters such as this make it difficult for people to speak out. Yes. They were threatening the wife. There are some people, all you charlatan, fake counselors that be telling a woman, you know, you have had children for him, just look the other way. What's the big deal? What's the judgment day will be hot? Because this child's life has been is grace of God that will help that child. It's the grace of God. It is the grace of God that will help that 15-year-old. You can imagine how he has been molesting this poor girl. Even we wives sef, it's not easy. If you're a wife and listening to me, you know that there will be times you say, abeg, I want to rest, abeg, no kill me. You can imagine this adult man molesting this girl probably every night. Why would she not want to run crazy? A 15-year-old. Introduced her to pornography, introduced her to oral sex, introduced her to, you know, so many things. What a wicked, and this is supposedly a doctor. His license should be taken forever. In fact, personally, my own, I don't even know where are the laws should be more stringent. The punitive, you know, measures taken on those people should be more stringent than it is already. If they catch a molester, they should first of all castrate him. The one he has done with his weapon of mass destruction, he don't do. They should first of all castrate before we begin to talk of other things. Honestly, someone said we should pity him. You see, those are the kind of statements that upset me greatly. Because why do you are pitying the perpetrator, somebody who should know better, an adult who has consistently drugged a 15-year-old, drugged his wife so that she's unaware, is the one that we should pity. These are the enablers of these people. Because people begin to look at it from maybe he has a sickness. I agree. We will curb that sickness first with castrating him, and then he should go to jail and stay there. Culture and tradition is a snare. I agree. Honestly, I don't understand though. It was a fellow man saying he should be pitied. Sometimes, you know, in the conversations and the statements people make, I know exactly the kind of person they are. You pity an abuser, pity a molester, someone who has taken the life out of a 15-year-old. I sit, when people come for counseling, I sit with adults who are unable to go on in their relationships now because of abuse of yesteryears. Now, when they go back into talking about it, they break down as children. Adults who have been abused so much that and the people should, care, look the other way. The people should defend them, look the other way. And they are whites like that. They are whites like that. They are whites like that, listening. Ideally, yes, he should be locked up. Yes, the scars of molestation and abuse stay with the victim forever. Even if you're able to get over it and move on with your life, there'll be some stories, there'll be some situations that will trigger a flashback. It's really terrible. It is terrible. So in our time, a lot of people couldn't talk, at least in my time when we were younger. But now, it's very important that we tell our children to speak out. To speak out. Nobody is going to kill you. Nobody is going to die. To speak out. Before you marry someone, and this is for those who are unmarried, because it's very easy to see a fine boy. Now, the truth of the matter is that this guy is in a second marriage. And this is one thing I always tell people. I have said it consistently. No woman leaves a good man. Did you hear me? No, if you see a man going up and down, he has nobody. And then you hear his wife left him. Then he tells you stories of how she was this, she was that, and you believe it. Your, like Yorubas have a saying, your pounded yam, you will eat it as yam later. Because you will see what that first one did that said, I am not staying, that said, I am not staying again. You too, you will see it. Because it's very easy to blame the former woman or the wife. It's very easy. A lot of people do that. And I'm talking of, even apart from, let's not talk about married, even as a dating. I keep saying the ex will tell you exactly who this person is. They may exaggerate, but they won't tell a lie. They won't manufacture, usually. They won't manufacture. They may exaggerate the situation. But to downright cook up a lie, it's seriously doubtful. So if you want to know someone and who the person is, you ask the right questions. And you ask the right people. So this man had been married, and of course we tell different stories of why his wife left. And then the new person, what happens? We believe. There's a saying in Yoruba land that the cane that they used to beat the first wife, they hid it somewhere for the day when they bring it out for the second wife. It's there. The cane is still there. And that's usually what happens. So this matter, as far as I'm concerned, must be addressed. Nobody must invite Dr. Femi Olaleye anywhere again. He's bestie pastors, all of you big people. I don't want to name you, but if I see him on your poster, I will name you. Stop giving him, stop enabling. If you didn't know before that that's what he's doing, now you know. My prayer is that they will jail him for this one that he has done, because he has ruined that girl's life. It's only God. We pray for God to help her. You know, we pray for God to help her. But you cannot damage a victim. There's no cause. Yes. I'm trying to read the yes. Shouldn't be pitied. Pitied for what? There's no cause for pity or clemency in matters such as this. The abuser has turned the victim to a damaged person for life. Absolutely. And that's why we need, as parents, we are all parents. Even if you are not a parent yet, you're going to become one. I sit here and I know there's some people think, oh, I don't have girls, so it doesn't concern me. It does concern you, because what the boy that you have is going to marry someone. When when a couple come for counseling, I usually take them individually first before they come together. And I can tell you for free that well, a lot of the issues is because there are things that they can't even tell their spouse about their past. I've had people who have been molested by their own father. I've had people who have been molested by their brother. I've had people who have been molested by their uncle. I have had people who have been molested by their aunts. So, please, all eyes and ears open. We've got to stop these people. That's the only way to stop an abuser. That is the number one way. Speak up. Speak out. If you see anything, if it's your neighbor, please speak out. If it's your neighbor's child that it's happening to, you must speak out. You cannot keep quiet. You know? So if you're dating, let me talk about those who are dating abusers and molesters. And I'm referring to mostly to women here, because we always tend to think we don't want to hear anything. When a woman fancies herself in love, you cannot tell her anything. You cannot say anything. Whatever you say, she say she that's what she wants. She'll manage it like that. She'll say that's what I want. If you call her to say, I heard this about this, you're in trouble. In fact, if you say that, then you're losing the friendship. That's just the truth. If you ever call a lady or a girl dating a guy to say, I heard this about your guy, be sure that you're ready to lose that friendship. Because the first thing that she will do is to go and tell the guy that you said that he's doing this. And then the guy will be like, no, me, your friend doesn't like you. She's jealous of you. No, don't talk to her again. These are the kind of people you shouldn't be talking to. And then she cuts you off. So if you are not ready to be cut off, please keep your opinions to yourself. But if you know that you don't mind being cut off, as long as you are saying the truth, which you would realize later, then you can. That's the truth. So because a lot of times love covers the eyes of the person feeling the love. You don't see anything wrong in the other person. You make excuses and then come back and deal with it. And the thing about this is that who you date is who you get in marriage. There's nothing like once he's a married man, he will change, or once she's married, when she's a wife, she'll behave like a wife. Not true. You are getting exactly who you. I remember a client once told me when I was, aftermath of our counseling, and I was asking her for like an update, and he said that, do I remember that she said that I said something that sometimes we order Fanta and expect it to taste like Coke. She said that is the situation she's dealing with, because we can only try and manage a person after you've married the person, and that is if the person wants to change. Nobody can change anybody that doesn't want to change. Nobody. No amount of prayer and fasting. That person will yield. God can change the person, but that person also has to yield. It's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. When God will call, you will answer. God can call and you refuse to answer. You will stay in your sin. That's just it. So, haven't dealt with that. If in future lives, I'm still going to talk about how do you know you're dating a narcissist or an abuser or or molester. How you can know ways that you can identify these people. But please, whatever you do, whenever any young person comes to you to say this and this and this happened to me, please do not dismiss it. Please do not call him or her a liar. Please take it seriously. Now, another thing I wanted to say about this particular doctor's case, this molester, Dr. Femi Olaleye, the molester. If you see him, you won't know that I can do it. You see, when he was doing with adults, it wasn't really, as much as it wasn't something that was palatable, but really to adults, if you like, whatever you do. But when you now do it to an underage girl, to a 15-year-old, this man can get any woman, at least that would listen to him, adults. Like I mentioned earlier, he's doing well. He has his own practice, he has his own business, everything. He could have, why that 15-year-old? Another thing I wanted to bring out from that incident, just for those who are listening or who will watch this later, is that the wife only knew when the girl started being rude. Apparently, or allegedly, so we should be using allegedly. She knew when the girl began to be rude. And one thing I noted I was going to tell my audience is, when you have a young child who is rude to an adult, please take note. Something is going on wrong there. Something is happening, because the audacity of a young child to be rude to an adult, that adult has crossed his or her boundaries someplace, somewhere. So let's not ignore that, because usually ignorant parents begin to punish the child, like, why were you rude to uncle so and so? Go there, go and say sorry. No, something has gone wrong somewhere, and you need to take a closer look. I heard the story of a young girl that the father was molesting, and she was so rude to the father. The mother would be wondering, why did you talk to your father like that? The father would say, no, please leave her. She's my daughter, leave her. Sometimes the mom would tell her to go and do something. The father would be like, no, don't worry, I will do it. Let's say she started wondering that, wait a minute, something is not right here. By the time she would realize, and in those times she would, hit on the girl and punish her, and by the time she would realize they had gone so far that the girl even now detests the mom. Yes, one of the problems with these cases are the feelings of being above the law from supposed perpetrators, especially if they have a high standing and connection in society. I am telling you, that's the fraud. I know pastors will listen to this because they are the greatest enablers of this man. They are always inviting him. He feels invincible. He feels nothing can happen. He feels nothing can happen. That they won't do anything to him. And they put him in proximity with, people. Of course, when somebody brings somebody to the church, you assume that they've done their due diligence. If your pastor brings somebody to you, you don't begin to think that the person is the devil. You would think that my pastor can endorse this person, then that person means that person is, it's good or sound mind, but not true. Please, let's be guided. The devil goes to church. Let's be guided, please. Do not take anybody as face value. Do not leave your children with any medical thinking that, because under normal circumstances, he had taken vows of, I don't know the vows medical people take, but he must have taken some vows to, preserve life, treat. Where are the doctors? There's something he would have taken now. People are supposed to be safe with him. And I think his OBGYN, if he's doing breast kidney and everything, that's OBGYN. That's why we need more women in that field. All these perverts that go and become just so that I can be pressing breasts free all over the place. Yes, so the devil wears Prada. One of the problems of cases of feeling of being above the law. Yes, this one. Yes, Pastora, the devil wears Prada too. Okay, there's an Igbo adage. The son that the father sends to steal uses his leg to boldly break down the door. Yes. When somebody's attitude changes, it is imperative to explore where the impetus is originating from. I agree. You see, that's one of, because what is paining me in all this is, apart from the main fact that this underage girl, they've just damaged her. I mean, really, honestly, it's really, money is one of the things I've ever prayed for in my life is not for my child not to go and live with anyone, because I'm telling you, this poor girl came to for a better life, and see how this evil Dr. Femi Olaleye has ruined her life. If she was with her parents, maybe it's a man and a woman that gave birth to her. If she was with them now, with all this, he wouldn't have had access to her. And the poor girl came for a better life, and he carried himself to ruin her life. So back to what I'm saying, when a child is rude to an adult, even if he's a neighbor, If it's to an uncle in church, a neighbor, anybody, when that child says, I don't like uncle this, or I don't want to see, or is rude to the person, check very well. Something is wrong somewhere. Somebody has either has gone way above what he or she should have done. Honestly, it's really sad. It's sad. And we as adults must not keep quiet. Please, wives, I know, if you know the number of people who are damaged now as wives in their own homes because they experienced abuse in their early years and their mother knew and kept quiet because she wanted to keep her marriage. I don't know how women can be so unfortunate. Because you want to remain married to a useless man, you will keep quiet and allow this man continue to molest your child because you want to remain Mrs. Heaven will be full of surprise. In fact, judgment day will be hot. Judgment day will be hot. Stop enabling. Stop enabling. Stop enabling. Wives, stop enabling. Stop enabling. You have to keep your eyes open. As a woman, being a woman is not an easy task. You have to keep your eye, and God has given us intuition in a higher level. You have to be there. And I keep telling women, when you are too busy running all over the place, how can you be in the house to know what is going on? Because it's painful, because this is somebody's child and it could be anybody's child. Trust me. We just thank God for how far He has brought us. But this girl has not been treated, and I give thumbs up to the wife who has decided thus far no. And it's not, you see, a lot of people are saying things from what I've heard of, do you know what is happening in other people's family? What is happening in other people's lives and family is not your business. It's ensuring that yours is healthy. That should be your business. It's not your business. A can decide that they like to live with abuse. B can decide that, they like, but in your own home and what is within your power, you must do something about it. Now, whatever happens, I don't know, husband and wife matter, they may come together tomorrow. That has nothing to do with this matter. This matter is not a business of their marriage or their marital problems. I was thinking, I said today, as I was preparing for this, I was thinking, when I first, started my ministry, the Holy Spirit would tell me things about people had their marriages, and then I will go and be telling them. So the Holy Spirit said, wait a minute. Even if I tell you something, did I tell you to go and call them and be? Because that's when you get into trouble. That's when husband will tell the wife, I don't want to see you with. Or the minute they see you, they have to start palpitating, thinking. So from there, I don't involve myself in people's matter or marriage. If your marriage is upside down, you like it that way, then we're going to be looking at each other. My only concern is when you come to me and you say, I need help. If you are suffering and you don't need help, then keep suffering. That's what you like. Because sometimes you just assume some people don't. Some people like suffer. But then when an innocent child is involved, then we all need to rise up. You don't need to be called. You don't need to be invited into the matter. We all need to rise up and say no to this matter. So I do hope and pray that this will take you go through the course of the law, and they really need to put more stringent punitive measures. Every molester, once proven, should be castrated. After all, eunuchs live a full life. Just that he won't be able to use his weapon of mass destruction again. And no big deal. And not be, because the more we keep quiet, the more they say they are sorry. In fact, this one, you know what is paining me about this Dr. Olaleye, Femi Olaleye's matter? He's not sorry. This man is not sorry. I don't understand it. Initially, he said it's the wife that caused it. You see, narcissistic tendency. It's the wife that set him up. So it's the wife that put him on top of the girl. Is it the wife? So it's the wife that set him up. It's the wife that caused it. They blame everybody except themselves. Then after that, he came to deny that he didn't even do it at all. Gaslighting. He didn't do it. Thankfully, there are recordings that he did it. He did it. Then the mother is defending him. You see, who are these women? And I keep telling people, before you marry, the family you are marrying into is very important too. It is almost, in fact, if you have a good man or a good woman and a terrible family, it's better to let them go. Just let everybody waka. Let them go. Because if the mother can defend her son who has molested a 15-year-old, and she's saying things like, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Aye sheru it's kí lójú òrìrí. Can you imagine? Like what has eyes not seen? What is new about that? We should say that 15-year-old was our own child. Somebody that should be handed over to they should, first of all, I don't even know which one should come first. Either flog him mercilessly or castrate him. I'm still undecided. Both should happen, but I'm undecided which one should start first. No, I think it's better to flog him after he's been castrated, because then the pain of castration plus flogging would maybe give him the sufficient level of pain that he deserves. So that's the kind of evil mother-in-law that is saying, what's the big deal? What has he done that nobody has done? By the mercies of God, he will pay. He will pay for what he has done, for ruining that girl's life. He will pay. He will pay here. I don't know whether God will now accept him into it, but here he will pay. He will pay. So, well, we thank God for the opportunity to come back on today. I wanted to do an hour. It's 7:15. Next week, definitely, we're going to, depending on what, we'll continue similar lines, but then other case studies, because there are plenty, but they are all over the place. And this has been happening forever and ever and ever. We have to start talking about it so that there has something to stop them. So thank you all for joining. Food approach, my sis, thank you. Yeah, D concepts, Aburo. Yes, so it's great to say from the heart as well. Yes, so yes. Beryl the gardener, Mrs. L, I see you. Pastor Rai, Rennie, I see you. I'm Grace, all of you, I see you. My children are here. I see you, my husband. And sorry if I didn't call you then. I see you all. So please, I'm going to share this also for those, because I know Keikos, I see you too. Thank you for joining. And next week, same time, 6 p.m. by God's grace. If I have put on a topic and you want to come on, like I mentioned earlier, send me a request and you would come on. Part of the reason I may or may not have guests on this shows, reason being, part of the reason I stopped it initially was the frustration of getting guests, quitting last minute, some, a lot of issues, and I don't want that to happen again. So if I have a guest, I invite the person on. If I don't, I do my thing. I have plenty to say. I have plenty. I have lots of things I like to say. So thank you. God bless you. Please, your assignment, anybody that you know that knows this molester, this pedophile called Dr. Femi Olaleye of Optimal Healthcare, he's well known. Women know him. Even churches know him. Please, let them report him. He needs to be stopped. So till next time, bye. Thank you for joining me. God bless you greatly.